There is no more emotional time in the life of a police officer in policing than when a death occurs. And a death of this nature, an assassination, that it's unlike any other type of emotion. I've dealt with this too many times over 44 years. You always hope that you're never going to experience it again.
Another man who has dealt with his share of tragedies and the deaths of police officers and many, many more occurrences is the one and only Ray Kelly, former commissioner of New York City, former NYPD commissioner, longest serving NYPD commissioner, retired Marine Corps Reserve colonel, and author of a great new book, Vigilance, My Life Serving America and Protecting Its Empire City. Commissioner, so
Steve,
good to see you again.
Thanks for having me. Great to be with you.
Let's start. We have two segments, so let's start with the book. Just a fascinating read. I mean, your humble beginnings, your parents, your life experience, serving in Vietnam. It almost seems, though, that it was all, you were destined from the very beginning to wind up as you did. Do you believe that?
I don't know. I didn't really have my sights on law enforcement when I was a young fellow. I did want to go in the Marine Corps. I had three older brothers in the Marine Corps, right. So I obviously had no choice. But the police department sort of evolved from that. It was, without a doubt, the best choice for me. I loved every minute of it. But it wasn't something burning in my stomach early on.
No, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that you had the fire all along. It just seems like every step that you took from the Marine Corps and so on, it just led you to be in the places you have been in and to keeping, as you say, keeping New York City safe during such dangerous times. Yeah.
Well, I had a lot of help, that's for sure. But, you know, I came back a second time as commissioner 3.5 months after 9/11. Mayor Bloomberg had an awful lot on his plate. We knew that you know, the city was at risk. Everybody was talking about another terrorist attack. It wasn't if, but when. Crime was going to go up. You know, we had 6,000 fewer cops than we had in the previous administration. So, a lot of things, a lot of challenges, and so much worked. And I, you know, have to give tremendous credit to the tradition, the personnel, the ethos of the New York City Police Department. Just a great institution.
Absolutely. What made you write the book now?
Well, I think I had a lot of experiences and a lot of opportunities that I believe lessons are sort of interwoven there. All three of my predecessors have done books, so why not? Why
not? When you see Commissioner Bratton, who's the commissioner now, and again was the commissioner, and talk about the two police officers who were executed here in New York not too long ago in Brooklyn, how does that affect you still, even though you're removed from the job?
Well, obviously, I think back to similar situations that I had. It's a gut-wrenching experience. I talk about it in the book. Notifying parents, notifying spouses, loved ones. Most difficult job that you can have. They're usually taken to the hospital. They don't know what's happened. They're taken in a highway patrol car, but that officer is not telling them what happened. So they don't know when they walk in, and you've got to take them into a room, and you usually have a chaplain there and tell them. And it's the most difficult thing that I had to do.
Absolutely. All right, there's so many things. Let's talk a little bit about first what's going on in this city right now. The Pope is coming. If you were police commissioner and the Pope was coming next week, I mean, does this present, do you believe, in a post 9/11 world, or maybe even not, the biggest challenge that NYPD has faced in years here?
Well, you got to put it in context. The UN General Assembly is happening at the same time, but this is something that happens every year in New York. 135 heads of state, give or take a few. Now, yes, the Pope is superimposed on that. His movements will be limited. However, he is a walker, which is, you know, compounds the problem. He certainly is mobile, and he wants to meet the people. No, I think it'll go well, partly because of the NYPD experience. Lots of cops will be on duty. The Secret Service will be the lead agency as far as protecting the Pope, and NYPD and Secret Service work very well together. I think the real heartache will be with the people, with pedestrians and people trying to drive their cars in the city.
They're already putting up the signs for next
Absolutely,
week.
you got the blocks out and everything. So it's just a tough time to be in New York, at least to be in Manhattanite.
It is.
When the UN General Assembly comes to town.
Yeah, and there was a plot that was allegedly foiled to attack the Pope. I mean, those come and go, correct?
Yeah, and you know, they call it aspirational, you know. And now in this day and age with social media, there's a lot of strange things that are out there. And I think this is the type of person that you've got to scoop up. It's not like, hey, let's see what he does.
Right.
You grab him as soon as you have probable cause.
Right.
Take them in. And that's what they've been doing with a lot of these cases.
Okay, we have a lot more to talk about in the next segment, more about the book and about the climate that police officers face in this city, in this country, and what Bill de Blasio has done to this country, to the city as well. We're coming back with former NYPD Police Commissioner Ray Kelly. Don't go away.